Have you ever wondered if your reality is something you can truly shape? What if I told you that, with focused attention, you could influence the events in your life like a skilled artist painting on an open canvas? Ancient yogis and Buddhist monks have known this secret for centuries, understanding the incredible power of observation. In fact, the act of observing, giving something our full attention, can set off a quantum ripple effect, one that not only changes our perception but shapes the very reality we experience. What if you could tap into this power to manifest the life you want? So let's dive into this profound truth. Your attention is like a spotlight, guiding the flow of energy in your life. Imagine your attention as a powerful force, directing where energy flows, and consequently where your life moves. This principle isn't new. In fact, it's something we instinctively know yet rarely harness. Every time you feel life dragging you into repetitive cycles, stuck in the same routines, attracting similar people, facing identical challenges, it's usually because your energy has stagnated. Instead of flowing forward, it's caught in a loop. And what keeps energy in place? Our attention, our focus. You might ask, isn't my attention just my ability to think about things? Yes, but it's more than that. Attention has layers, dimensions that can attract, repel, or even dissolve realities before us. There's polar attention, which acts like a magnet, pulling in certain experiences while pushing others away. This is the energy behind the concept that every problem contains the seed of a solution. It's like a coin with two sides. On one side, there's attraction, and on the other, repulsion. Polar attention draws in what you focus on positively and simultaneously pushes away the opposite. Beyond this, there's a type of attention that is even more mystical, non-polar attention. Unlike polar attention, it is neutral, free from attraction or repulsion. Non-polar attention doesn't influence outcomes directly. Instead, it has the unique power to dissolve unwanted elements from your reality entirely. Imagine having the ability to erase the obstacles or negativity in your life, not by fighting them, but simply by observing them without judgment, allowing them to dissipate on their own. But here's the thing. Most of us live trapped in a conditioned state, constantly in survival mode. Our biology, shaped over millennia, prioritizes survival over anything else. This ingrained protection mode keeps us alert to threats, scanning for what might hurt us, and fixated on what we fear. As a result, we're easily manipulated by fear, anger, and pride. Society, aware of this vulnerability, often keeps us stuck in states of fear to control and guide our actions. Think about it. How much of our lives are influenced by what we fear? The news, social media, and even casual conversations feed us a steady diet of anxiety, prompting us to react rather than act with conscious choice. Take a closer look at how fear is used to guide our actions. When we're afraid, it's easy to push us into certain behaviors or beliefs. Why? Because fear narrows our focus, clouding our judgment, and making us vulnerable to suggestion. If society can keep our attention on what scares us or makes us angry, it can steer us in directions we might never choose on our own. This is why people are willing to go to extreme lengths, sometimes even destructive ones, to protect what they think is threatened. As long as our attention is rooted in fear, anger, or pride, we stay in this loop, playing into society's hands. But what if we could break free from these forces, harnessing our attention to create something entirely new? A reality that reflects our true desires, not just our fears. The power to direct our attention, to choose where our energy flows, is within us. If we understand and cultivate it, we can transform our lives from survival-driven reactions to conscious, empowered creations. Are you ready to take control? It starts with a single shift. Where you place your attention, that's where your life flows. Breaking free from emotional traps. The power of neutral attention. Have you ever found yourself caught in the same kind of relationship again and again, like a broken record you can't seem to switch off? Or perhaps you've noticed that certain challenges in life keep circling back, leaving you stuck in a loop of familiar frustrations. Why does this happen? And what can we do about it? Let's dive into this hidden mechanism that shapes our reality: attention, especially when driven by past traumas and conditioned fears. Most people unknowingly carry unresolved memories from painful experiences, and rather than letting these memories dissolve, they become fixated on avoiding a repeat. Ironically, this fixation is exactly what attracts similar experiences into our lives. By focusing on what we don't want, our energy aligns with fear and resistance, magnetically pulling us toward the very scenarios we wish to escape. Imagine each of us is constantly standing at a crossroads, with endless life paths branching out in front of us. On one path lies freedom and new possibilities, while another leads us back into the same situations we're trying to avoid. This branching of our life paths depends on where we place our attention. When we focus on our fears, our energy flows toward avoidance and protection, reactivating old patterns. Yet if we shift our attention to what we truly want, to growth, change, or healing, our lives can take a dramatically different course. This is where understanding the types of attention, positive, negative, and neutral, becomes crucial. In his book, Mind is Your Business, Sadhguru explains how the mind has an incredible ability to trap us in cyclical thoughts, repeating stories and reinforcing emotions that ultimately shape our reality. When we focus on something positively, we invite positive energy that reshapes our circumstances in uplifting ways. On the other hand, negative attention holds us back, surrounding us with similar energies that perpetuate the cycle of dissatisfaction and fear. But there's another kind of attention, a powerful and often overlooked approach: neutral or non-polar attention. Unlike positive or negative attention, neutral attention is simply observational. It doesn't hold the weight of attachment or aversion, allowing life events to pass without leaving lasting impressions. It's like experiencing something unpleasant, acknowledging it, and then releasing it without resistance. This neutral way of perceiving things can dissolve the power they hold over us. Why is neutral attention so transformative? When we face challenges or past traumas, our natural reaction is to resist them, usually because they evoke emotions we aren't comfortable feeling. This resistance gives them strength, making it harder to let go. Think of neutral attention as emotional Teflon. The challenges come, they're acknowledged, and then they slide off without sticking. This practice isn't about positive thinking or suppressing emotions, but allowing what arises to simply exist, without clinging or pushing away. Sadhguru further elaborates in Life and Death in One Breath that human beings are biologically wired to respond to threats and discomfort by entering survival mode. This ancient instinct once helped protect us from physical dangers, but in today's world, this survival instinct often triggers an emotional spiral instead. When we feel afraid or threatened, the mind amplifies the fear by scanning for additional dangers. It becomes a loop where fear fuels more fear, and before we know it, our attention is locked on negative possibilities. This is why breaking free from past patterns requires us to develop awareness beyond our conditioned fears. To truly move past these traps, we need to cultivate a deep alignment between the mind and heart. When the mind operates independently, fueled by fear and survival, it pulls us into a spiral of negative thoughts. But when the mind and heart work together, our focus shifts to something beyond fear: growth, acceptance, and freedom. This alignment allows us to face life's challenges with calm clarity, freeing ourselves from the cycle of reaction and opening up to new possibilities. Neutral attention serves as a gateway to this alignment, allowing us to observe and let go without needing to control or resist what we experience. It's about creating space for life to unfold naturally, without the constant interference of past fears or future worries. Embracing this approach brings us out of survival mode and into a state of presence and peace. Imagine your life freed from repetitive cycles, your attention liberated from old traumas, and your focus aligned with the present moment. With neutral attention, you can finally dissolve the patterns that have held you back, creating a future rooted in clarity, courage, and conscious choice. Imagine standing face to face with the very thing you fear the most. It's a daunting picture, isn't it? Yet, there's a paradox here. The more we resist, the more power that fear gains, turning it into a mountain we cannot move. Carl Jung's words echo this truth. What you resist not only persists, but will grow in size. But what if the way to overcome isn't by resistance, but by radical acceptance? The concept seems contradictory to our instincts. Most of us are conditioned to fight against what we dislike, convinced that resistance gives us control. But resistance only solidifies what we fear, feeding it with our energy and attention. Acceptance, on the other hand, is the antidote to this struggle. To break free, we must first confront the present reality, however unpleasant, and simply let it be. In that moment of acceptance, energy is no longer wasted on fighting what is. It dissipates, clearing space for something new, something positive to take root. Acceptance is not surrender to defeat. It's recognizing that the situation exists and making peace with it. In Life and Death in One Breath, Sadhguru highlights this dynamic, explaining how resistance entraps us in the patterns we aim to escape. Acceptance, by contrast, liberates energy. It removes the emotional charge, allowing us to observe a situation with neutral attention, seeing it simply for what it is, without the intense coloring of fear or aversion. This shift in perspective transforms the present moment into a springboard for creating a new reality. Consider for a moment the worst-case scenario that has haunted you. What if you could stand face to face with it and acknowledge, yes, this could happen? Surprisingly, when we fully accept even the most uncomfortable possibility, the power of that fear begins to dissolve. The intensity vanishes because we're no longer feeding it with our resistance. As William James said, acceptance of what has happened is the first step to overcoming the consequences of any misfortune. Instead of holding tightly to the idea of what should or shouldn't be, we step out of the way, letting life flow naturally. Acceptance allows us to navigate life's challenges without fear dictating our reactions. It doesn't mean you desire the worst outcome, but you stop fearing it. You acknowledge it. And in that acknowledgement, you discover the power to choose your response. With acceptance, the present moment is no longer something to change or resist. Instead, it's a space of pure potential from which the next moment can unfold. The act of observing, without trying to alter, opens a doorway to peace and allows life's natural rhythms to carry us forward. From this place of acceptance, something profound happens, the possibility of seeing a setback as a hidden blessing. Every moment, no matter how difficult, has the potential to carry a lesson or opportunity we hadn't anticipated. Rumi reminds us, the wound is the place where the light enters you. When we stop labeling events as purely positive or negative and see them neutrally, we release our grip on them. This openness allows us to recognize how an apparent setback could serve as a foundation for personal growth or a new direction. In each moment, we hold the choice to shift our perspective. When challenges arise, rather than resisting, what if we asked ourselves, how can this experience serve me? What can I learn here? This approach frees us from the patterns of the past and lets us step into each new moment with clarity and power. Accepting the present as it is, while maintaining the ability to choose our next step, we move closer to the reality we want to create. True transformation begins when we release the fight and embrace what is. Acceptance turns obstacles into stepping stones, fears into gateways, and resistance into freedom. Embrace the unknown, unlocking the universe's hidden blessings. Have you ever wondered if the obstacles in your life are, in fact, subtle gifts from the universe, Imagine that every setback, every delay, every missed opportunity is, in reality, a form of protection, a cosmic intervention to guide you. Perhaps when things don't go as planned, it's the universe's way of holding you back from something far worse. Imagine missing a bus, only to later find out it had an accident. Could the universe be weaving a path for you, steering you toward a better outcome, even if you can't see it yet? The power of this understanding grows once we reach a state of acceptance. When something goes wrong, we don't have to immediately look for the hidden blessing. Sometimes it's enough to simply allow the reality of it to settle. Give yourself the grace to be with the moment, even if it hurts. Then, as time eases the initial sting, you'll find a natural shift toward neutrality. This state of inner balance is the gateway, opening the door to a fresh perspective where blessings reveal themselves naturally. Now, the final step of this journey is profound. It's the art of choosing. Once we've accepted and released our resistance, our energy is free, no longer wasted on fighting reality. In this place of calm, we can focus on what we truly desire. Sadhguru explains in Inner Engineering that our focus and attention are like a beam of light that guides the energy of our lives. When we direct this light with clarity, we harness the power to shape our experiences. In this way, we're not just passive observers. We become active co-creators of our own reality, navigating life with intention and purpose. When you become skilled at this, when you learn to accept, redirect, and choose, you'll find yourself moving forward with a renewed strength. Imagine reaching a level where nothing can hold you back because you are constantly shifting your focus to the life path you desire. This is the foundation of manifestation. Seeing each moment for what it is, accepting it, and then consciously choosing what's next. When we embrace this flow, life responds to our focus and aligns with our intentions, giving us the power to navigate toward our destiny. This process is more than a tool. It's a transformational way of living. It's about acknowledging our power as architects of our lives. When we accept what is, rather than resisting, our energy is freed from past entanglements. And when we then place this energy onto our desired future, reality begins to bend and shape itself to align with that vision. In this space, transformation unfolds naturally, and our path to fulfillment becomes clear. So remember, no matter how tough things seem, you have the power to create the reality you want. It all begins with your attention and where you place it. Let go of resistance, find your calm, and from that calmness, focus on what you want to bring into your life. The universe is ready to work with you. But first, you must be ready to work with yourself. Accept what is, envision what you desire, and watch as life shapes itself in response to your intention. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If this message resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit from these insights. Together, let's create a community of conscious co-creators, shaping lives full of meaning and joy. Remember, you are the architect of your own reality. Thank you for being here, and may your path be filled with blessings and boundless possibilities.